I'm guessing y'all are familiar with the difference between respond and react, but it's important in our parenting. So response is something happens, I can notice what happens in me, and I can come up with my response to it. I can understand my preference, I can understand how I feel about this thing, and I can make a request out of it, right? So that's my responsiveness. I can respond from like a presence of actuality of what's happening in me when this thing happens. If I react, usually what's happening is I don't have enough capacity to deal with the thing at hand. So I have a really quick reaction, and it generally comes from something old and something very ingrained. And so in parenting, it usually comes up sounding a lot like our parents, right? It comes from something deeply patterned, and it doesn't have room for discussion. It doesn't have room for listening. And so this reactionary piece, neither thing is bad or good. It's just the way that we're operating. And so we need to be aware of how we're operating. If we can see where we're responding and versus where we're reacting, it's a reflection on our capacity when we are able to reflect and pause for a moment before responding. That's the response. When we do it really quickly, it tends to come from these old patterns. It tends to resemble our childhood experiences, and it happens lightning fast. It kind of comes out of nowhere. It's a little more like a reflex, and that would indicate that there isn't a lot of capacity there. So just as you're trying to notice how your parenting is going, knowing the difference between these two things can help you reflect on your capacity at any given moment.